welcome back to the battle, viewers. We're up to turn 3. Just learning this Lasalle rules still. I'm enjoying the battle and I'm enjoying the rules, nice and simple. I made a couple of mistakes, so just look at the notes below and I'll make a list of my errors and the corrections, and just so you don't make the same mistakes I have. But I'm going to push on with the rules as I'm playing them, only the reinforcements coming on in march, column or limbered, but I'll make a note in the description below. Okay, so let's get on with the battle, and we're up to turn 3, and you can see the village is hotly contested, and the French have broken one enemy battalion, so the Russians have lost 1 unit. If they lose another couple, there'll be a sudden death victory. They've got, I think, 10 or 11 units, so let's say they need to lose 4 and the French need to lose 3. So if there's another 3 units, the Russians may be in trouble. But they haven't got their other artillery battery on the table yet. And the Dragoons have arrived, and so it's all action. So let's get on with the momentum phase.
Sounds the advance. It is the momentum phase.
Okay, so both sides have decided to hold their general back in the momentum phase and save him. He's going to directly intervene in the battle. So now we're up to the skirmish phase. Now the Russians have lost a unit, so they're going to lose some skirmishes. So we'll add up their values and sort out the dice tin again.
Step 2, the skirmish phase.
Okay, so the Russians lost a unit of Jaeger, which was giving them 3 skirmish dice. So they will get taken out of the dice pool, and then we'll roll to see who wins the skirmish battle. Okay, so here's the skirmish roll. Very important. Who's going to be going first? Oh, the Russians, I can see a couple of 6s for the Russians already. And the French have got 1 and 2. So it's a draw again. So then we need to roll off to see who's going to win the skirmish battle. So nobody gets any extra momentum because you need to win the skirmish battle by 2 or more. So they roll off to see who has the initiative. Oh, the Russians roll a big 6 and have the initiative. So the Russians will be acting first with 5 momentum.
Oh, yes. I must do something. It is the intervention phase.
Okay, so in initiative order, the Russians have initiative. They need to place their general first. He needs to be placed within 4 base widths of the unit that he wants them to change formation. So we're going to place the Russian general will be within 4 of the artillery here, and the artillery is just going to unlimber. So it's going to be quite unpleasant for the against the cavalry, or cop the punishment from the artillery. So now the French place their general, and he will, yes, thinking about it, wasn't sure, but he's just going to be giving these guys that order to form square from the Dragoons. So that's in the intervention phase. It doesn't cause an interruption or anything, but these guys have now formed square, and they've got plenty of cavalry bearing down on them.
Here is a time for action. It is the orders phase.
Okay, so after much deliberation, the Russians have decided to forego the volley because it's a little bit tight whether they could actually shoot with the Jaeger in front of them. So they're going to hold off their volley, going to spend their momentum to charge. So it's going to cost 2 because charging is a complication. So they're going to go straight down to 3 momentum because this unit of Uhlans is going to just pivot and then charge into these guys. And that allows these other guys who are within 4, they can just move up 2. So that is their order. So then we've got this combat. Okay, so there's no modifiers because the French have formed square. The only advantage that the Uhlans have in this case is that they will be able to roll a 1 or a 2 for their combat. They both have a strength of 6, so it's an even roll at the moment. So, but the Uhlans get to reroll a 1 or a 2. So, Uhlans have rolled a 5, sorry. So they have won by 3. So the final score is 11-8. So if a unit, so first resolve the defenders, outscored by 3 or more. So 11 breaks them. The unit breaks. So the French are broken. And resolve the attackers, no longer engage. Cavalry get 1 disorder. So 1 disorder for the Uhlans. And that's it. So a broken unit. The square has broken. The Uhlans have broken the square. Oof. The French lost a unit. Now the turn's still going, so there's no follow-up or anything fancy for the Uhlans. But the French now can interrupt if they want to. That happened within 4 base widths of the enemy. It's a charge, and the order was up close, so they can interrupt. So the French will interrupt. Now they've got to decide what they're going to do. Okay, so the French, they've one of the things about the game is you've got to work out how much momentum you've got and how many things that you want to do during the game. So they want to move their cavalry up. They want to do some combat over here to try and push the situation on that right flank there before they get shot again. So they're going to go for a move order over here on this brigade. I'll leave the cavalry and so on for later on. So let's do that move order. Okay, well, the French are feeling lucky, but they could do a rally order, but that would incur an interruption when near the enemy. And if they charge, they're going to be at a disadvantage. They've taken 1, they've taken 3, and they've taken 1 as well. So this unit is in a bit of trouble, but there's no advantage or anything. It's not much of a good option, but they need to break the enemy. Otherwise, they're going to cop another round of volleys. And if they rally, they're going to cop more shooting as well. There's not much else option for it. I don't know what to do, whether they should rally, but if they rally, they give the turn back to the Russians. So they can't rally and charge. They just need to charge in their current state. What the heck? Let's just go for it. So it's going to cost 2 momentum because they're in mass. So, and the French don't get a complication for charging in mass. If you look at their little data card. But the guard there, let's remove those trees, you can't see them, but they are in the woods. That's going to cause the complication. But they can charge 4. So they're just going to go for it. The guard are just going to go in with their disadvantage. These guys are going to go in. They're going to hope for the best. It could be a quick battle. We haven't played this very well tactically. And they've all charged. The complication was for the woods. So now we can do the combats. Okay, so the French elect to do the middle one first, and they have a strength of 6. Normally the guard are a strength of 7, but they have taken 1 disruption from the volley before, and the Russians are on a 6 as well. So it's an even roll. There's no other modifiers. I can't see outnumbered, defending strong position, no. In difficult terrain, no. Nothing happening there. So let's roll and see what happens. The French need some luck here. Oh, it's a real draw. So if we go through the combat result, do the defenders first, tied or greater, no effect. and still engage, 1 disorder and stagger. So the guard come back, just stagger back 1 and cop another disorder. Undecisive combat, not what they wanted. They really needed to break them there. Okay, well, we'll have a look at the next one, which will be these guys. Now, they've both taken 1 disorder each. So they'll both have a strength of 5. That's handy, those dice are there. No other modifiers, no advantage, just a straight roll off. Oh, the Russians have 1 by 1. So, do the defender first. Tied or greater, no effect. Still engaged. -1 disorder and stagger. So, another failed assault. Undecisive failed assault. I think this is going to be a waste of momentum here. And then we've got the final combat on the left flank, which the French at a disadvantage. They're at 3. So they're going to have a strength of 3 versus a strength of 6. 3 versus 6. Well, lucky for the French, they're on an 8, and they're an 8, so it is equal. So these guys will stagger back as well. And now they've taken another disorder. They've taken 4 hits. So at 4 hits, I believe they will now be shaken. Okay, well, I hope you're not going to be too critical of my tactics here, but just learning the rules and experimenting about what might happen. So if you've got fairly healthy units, they're not going to break unless you really roll the 6-1 split or something. So you need to wear them down first to give yourself a chance. But the French are getting desperate over here, but now they're in a lot of trouble. Both sides have still got 3 momentum left, and the Russians will now intervene. So the Russians are going to give a volley order, which will cost 1. So they'll have 2 left. And then they're going to be able to shoot with all their units in a volley range. So they can start wherever they like. So they're going to start up this end here with the Jaeger, who are peppering the village from last turn. The battalion in the village has taken 3 hits so far. They took a few hits last turn. So they're going to keep shooting at them. This is going to shoot with this battalion, which will get 6 dice. And needing 4s normally, but 5s because the village gives some protection. Another dice. We need 5s, no hits. Wasn't so good. And the other guys, so I've got two of the central bases, so they'll have 5 dice. That's a bit better shooting. So 3 hits. See if they can convert those into actual disruption. 1. So now they've taken 4 hits in the village. Okay, then we move across, going from left to right. This battalion here, and they're not shaking or anything. They're going to give a volley into the French. Oh, they're rolling pretty bad. One hit. No disruption. The next one will be into the guard there. They're not shaken, they're actually quite healthy. Then they get 3 hits. So we can convert those into disruption. Oh, the guard take another 2. They've taken 4 now. So this defensive position is holding their ground, and the musketry is doing its job, and these guys, they'll have 6 dice as well. Oh, 4 hits. Oh, and another 3. So this unit now has taken 7 hits. Okay, so when a unit takes as much disruption as their strength, then they are broken and they run away. So I'm not really demonstrating great Napoleonic tactics here, but I'm learning the rules. Don't charge in with your already disrupted units. Yeah, these guys are feeling pretty happy with themselves. And now the French have lost 2 units. 1 more unit and they would have lost a third of their army. It's only a very small game, so very fragile forces, which I'm learning. Okay, so that's the situation. Now the French can interrupt. They have 3 momentum left, and it's looking grim for them. They can't afford to lose any of those units. If the Russians have their turn and spend some momentum, they could probably charge with a couple of these units over here and win the game. So the French will take their turn, which would probably be just to move the cavalry up, fire a bombardment or something. But let's just let the Russians finish it off. Okay, so charging is a complication. So they're going to spend 2 momentum, their last 2 momentum, and these units are going to charge. Oh, they've all fired, there's smoke and so on, but they'll we'll see. It gives the French a bit of a chance if they can break them back. Let's see what happens. But these guys have taken 2, so they will have a strength of 4, and the Russians have taken 1, so they'll have a strength of 5. So the Russians are getting a +1 to the dice roll. They're up by 1. Ooh, so it's not looking good there. So they're up by 1, so it'll be 5. There'll be a difference of 3, and this unit will break, and that will be the end of the battle. Okay, well, a sudden death victory to the Russians. The French cavalry didn't even get into combat, but they had 3 lots of 3, so 9 units. So 1/3 is 3, so they've lost 3 units. So it's a sudden death victory. Okay, so a sudden death victory, but that's okay because I just wanted a quick game to show how the rules work and teach myself how to play. I mean, I threw the French battalions in here, threw them away. I charged a square with the lancers just to see what would happen, but I was just interested in learning how the order system works, the momentum points, which are basically pips. It's a very similar system to a sort of World War II rules that I like, Iron Cross. If you played them before, it's a similar type of token activation system. And your units get to do you're making a decision whether things are going to do something. You're not rolling a dice to see if they're going to become hesitant like in General DRME, or not move at all like in Black Powder. Not that there's anything wrong with those rules, it's just a different way of doing things. So this is enjoyable. So a sudden death victory at 1/3 was very sudden, but that's good because I just wanted a quick game to learn the rules. So if you're interested in that type of activation system, I can recommend Iron Cross World War II rules. Same sort of thing, and making you make decisions and so on. So it was enjoyable. I will play them again. I think it was good. It'd be an easy game to teach somebody, but you could spend a lot of time thinking about how you're going to assign your momentum, where you're going to use it up, where you're going to attack, and that's good. If you like that type of game, making you make decisions, and you're not poring over charts all the time, then it could be a game for you. I'd have to play a few more games to give you an actual review, but just my initial thoughts while I've been learning the game. So I'll try and get another couple of games in. I might even try and do an Iron Cross game on the channel so people can see those rules. They're my favourite World War II rules. So anyway, well, that's about it, I think, while I pack up. So thanks for watching. If I've made any mistakes, let me know. I've done my best as I'm just learning my first game. So that's it. Like and subscribe and all that, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye for now.
Plans. Tomorrow after the battle, they will all have 100 reasons why the plans didn't work.